With Astill at lock forward, but it'll be interesting to see if they use Argyros, Tessman and Wharton during the game. Bill Argyros, Brad Tessman and Neil Wharton all on the benches. But the Southern Suburbs full line-up, the best team they can put on. Spencer at fullback, Thompson and Chalice on the wings, Meninga and Belcher in the centres, Harry and Sully the halves, Astill at lock forward, Power and Lumbey in the second row, Higgs and Grinky the props, and of course Billy Johnston is the hooker. And the Valleys line-up, of course, their strongest team they can put out as well. But here again, it'll be interesting to see if Studwick does use Chris Williams. He's listed in the reserves, and we'll see if he uses him at some stage to replace Robert Moore at the lock forward position. He may not. The Valleys team, the strongest one they can put out as well. Fullback Shalosky. On the wings, you've got Klein and Wheeland. In the centres, Duncan and Fisher. The halves, Lewis and Murray. Robert Moore at lock forward. Bob Arnold and Brian Needbig in the second row. Greg Walker and Al McGuinness the props. Terry Carockin the hooker. Major semi-final day. Let's get on with the football.
There's the whistle and they're underway in this the major semi-final. Valleys coming from the northern end of the ground from the kick-off, taken back there by Ken Spencer. Spencer back into the Southern Suburbs lineup today. And he'll be tackled just over his own quarter line. Billy Johnston from dummy half. That's Brad Sully back into the lineup. Bruce Astill, put down very heavily. From the play the ball now, that was Robert Moore going in for the tackle. McGuinness coming up high, says referee Eddie Ward.
Walker, Billy.
Walker, and he's been called out. Greg
Walker's, what's his name? I think he's going to send him off. Lewis, he's sending him off completely. Lewis is asking why, and Walker's gone. There's the replay, and Walker's gone. Well, they're going to play the whole game with 12 men.
Well, there's been a big task set this Valleys team, one man short, but gee, they're rising to the occasion so far. Still, there's a long way to go. Let's see what happens from here. Wally Lewis. Coming through this time is Russell Klein, who's crossed from that wing. Carockin is dummy half. Carockin swings it across to Mark Murray. Moore. Oh, gee, Arnold.
Oh, Bobby Arnold pushed Billy Johnston at the road and hurt himself.
He hurt himself,
He's
all right.
down.
He's down for the count. Meanwhile, the play goes on. Gee, it's nice and tough out there. Dummy half waiting up there is Carockin. This is Mark Murray. Swings it back inside. Brian Niebling charging through. The second row almost splitting the Southern Suburbs defence. Wheeland is the dummy half. He'll swing it back to Lewis. Lewis not quite sure what to do. Sends it back the other way. This is Fisher. Out of a couple of tackles. Valleys putting on the pressure as Carockin comes up as dummy half. Arnold still down in the back play. Back to Wally Lewis. Drop shot at goal. And it's there. 1 point on the board. Valleys are 1 and Souths are 0.
Williams is going to play lock. They're playing without a fullback at present. That's unbelievable. Shalosky's on the wing. And the Valleys are playing without a fullback.
So, penalty coming up Valleys' way. Now we'll see Wally Lewis. Lewis not sure what's going on here.
Valleys in an attacking position once again with 8.5 minutes of play remaining in the first half, and Strudwick must be somewhat happy to have the scoreline going his way 1-0, and I'd say McCarthy a little bit worried, but he really shouldn't be worried because there's still 40 minutes of football left, but they should have put points on before this.
They've gone very close. Gee, there's that big long pass of Wally Lewis. Cutting back inside is Duncan. He's still going. Duncan barreling his way up to the quarter line. Big strong run. Getting up to play it. Dummy half played forward. And puts Valleys right on the attack now. From the play the ball. Dummy half is Fisher. Over to Murray. Mark Murray to McGuinness. McGuinness pulled down though. 20 metres out from the Souths line. From the play the ball. Dummy half up there Shalosky. Mark Murray. 1-0. Valleys leading. Coming up as dummy half this time is Carockin. Moore then to Lewis. Lewis across to Brian. Niebling running through and Niebling's over. Brian Niebling in.
Oh, great pass, Wally Lewis. As I said, you'd see the best of Lewis. Valleys with 12 men, remember. Southern Suburbs with 13 men. Watch the pass from Lewis. And Niebling flying onto it. Just delays it now. And through goes Niebling. Oh, Lumbey couldn't get hold of him because he's a powerful boy, Brian Niebling. And their first try, and what a beauty. What a beauty. 4-0 with a simple kick to come. Should make it 6. Out it goes. Lewis just delays it long enough. Just a little dummy, as you can see. Just enough to suck him in. And once Niebling's through, it was shut the gate. And boy, what a try. What a try in this sort of conditions. So now it's unbelievable. I think the ploy with Shalosky was to have Shalosky up on the wing in attack, but in defence they're going to put him back to fullback. So in other words, in attack they're going to play with the full complement of players up front, but in defence he's got to go back. Oh, we'll have to wait until they get into a defensive pattern, but haven't they played the game the right way? There's no two ways about that. They have a player on the field with the ability and the knowledge of Wally Lewis. Makes it one heck of a lot easier for Coach Ross Strudwick. And with this kick to come up, it should be an extra 2 points, 6 points to nil, and we've got 6 minutes of play remaining in the first half. Shalosky
is there. So that makes it Valley 6, Souths 0. He's leading Souths by 6 points to 2. And referee Ward wants the ball to go into this scrum again. In by Mark Murray. Will be taken out by... No, it won't be taken out by Murray, but dived on by Valleys. They've got possession. Man to do it was Robert Moore. This is Williams. Head down, flying run there. Eventually pulled down about 15 metres short of halfway. Dummy half Karockin to Lewis. Lewis outside then to Bob Arnold. Dummy half Karockin. Back to Lewis. Mark Murray, McGuinness. Big fella crashing his way through. Playing the ball back now to Mark Murray. Lewis following through out after it. Still, we got the bounce, but it ended up in Spencer's hands. Mal Meninga went flying through the air. Souths in possession. Away from dummy half. Running across field this time is Tessman.
We can get a wide shot of the ground. You'll see Lewis in his defensive pattern standing behind his team, giving the instructions. Hold it there for a moment. You'll see the team come back. Lewis pointing to the referee there now, pointing to his players, standing behind the line of defence, as you can see in defence.
Harry to Meninga. Here's the big fellow on the boil. Still going as Meninga.
Stepped inside, Wally.
Sends a pass away, and this is a try to Spencer. Forward.
Forward pass.
Another forward pass.
2 forward passes. Twice now Southern Suburbs have gone across the line. McCarthy can't believe it, Bob McCarthy. He's sitting on the sideline. Doesn't normally sit there. Here it is, but a great break from Mal Meninga. And Lewis was the last line of defence, as you'll see. He gets to Wally, steps inside. That man steps inside. Lewis has the man outside him, passes the ball, and oh, that was very flat. And twice now, Southern Suburbs have got across the line, and twice, well, it's been a very, very close decision.
Not a great deal in it. Kicker's going to find touch. And that started the second half off with a roar here at Lang Park. Wally Lewis. This is Russell Klein trying to split them up the centre. Karockin. Murray coming through Moore.
See Shalosky on that wing in attack. There he is. You see him, number 1 on his shoulder. In attack, they've got every man up, Fortitude Valley. In defence, they've got Shalosky back at fullback and Lewis behind the line of defence.
Arnold taking it up there. Dummy half Karockin. Back over to Murray, then to Lewis. Lewis with a pass to no one. Back there is Darryl Duncan. Duncan about to play it after he's been tackled there by Bruce Astill.
Well, only one break from Mal Meninga, and it looks like Wally Lewis is going to bring on the big fellow, Mick Hickey. Hickey played in the forwards in the beginning of the season. He's been playing centre 3/4 the last couple of games in reserve grade, and the promise Lewis Strudwick made was that here goes Duncan.
Darryl Duncan up over the halfway, back inside. That's Russell Klein. And Klein nicely tackled by Meninga. And that's the end of the tackle count.
As I said, the promise that Strudwick made was that if Meninga started to break the line, he was going to bring Hickey on to look after him. But it looks like Hickey's going to come into the forwards anyway. And
Williams to leave.
Chris Williams going off, so it's not that kind of a reshuffle in the pack.
Waiting for Brad Tully to feed. Referee wants it in again.
Both back lines very flat.
4 minutes of the second half gone. Souths in possession. Spencer to Astill. He got his pass away to Gary Thompson. Here's a big chance now. Bruce Harry stepped out of the tackle of Arnold.
Has Chalice.
Now Chalice
Runs
on the
up.
halfway. Over the top to Meninga. Meninga going to be tackled over there by Hickey. South really testing this Valley's defence now.
I didn't see what happened in back play, but Lewis and Astill had a set too. Lewis is running back to play now. He seems to be okay.
Here's South putting on the pressure all right. That's Billy Johnston just inside the quarter line. Dummy half waiting for it is Chalice. Over to Sully. Harry unloads it nicely this time to Brinky coming through. Then to Sully, and they're over now. Finally made it, South.
It sort of had to happen. Lewis, as I said, was injured. There he is with his hands on his head. He was running back to play, and the defensive pattern wasn't good. It looked like Grinky might do it himself for a moment. Harry stepped infield. That's what they've got to do. They've got to move the ball around. There's Grinky. There's a big hole there, as you can see. Through goes Grinky. Murray gets hold of him. Sully was there, stepped inside. Lewis come a little bit too late. First try. And now it's 6 points to 5 with a pretty simple kick to come. Right from way back when Meninga made the big break. Right across. Billy Johnston. Johnston tackled just inside the quarterway. That's what Southern Suburbs have got to keep doing. They've got to keep moving the ball around. And they must find holes. You can't do it all day, every day. Harry steps infield. Well taken by Klein. Back it goes to Grinky. Across comes Murray. In comes Sully. Steps inside Chalosky. And, of course, Lewis was just a little bit too late. And the simple kick from Al Meninga.
On his way. And it's there. South have hit the front. 7 points to 6.
And finally, points on the board. That'll make Bob McCarthy happy. And it took them 8 minutes into their second half to do it.
Play coming back onto the halfway where Wally Lewis will start it up. Big long kick from Lewis. Back there is Chalice. Takes it safely.
By golly, if this is going to be the grand final teams after Valley's playing it with 12 men this way, won't they be here on grand final day? I think Wynnum-Manly got different ideas.
Coming through is Brad Tessman. One thing, it's a big improvement on last week's game. That is for sure and certain.
25-0 this time last week, Billy.
Okay, this is Billy Johnston swinging it away to Sully. Sully outside to Lumbey. Lumbey got away from Lewis. Gee, they're flying in their Valleys.
Lewis and Astill really getting stuck into each other, and in comes the touch judge. There was a kick there from Bruce Astill. It didn't really hurt, but it was there. You'll see the replay. Not worth a send-off, no way. Oh, he's sending him off, is he? For how long? Forever.
I think he's off forever.
Oh, let's have a look at that. The kick was there, but Lewis and Astill had a bit of a set to before. And you'll see Astill tackle Lewis, basically, without the ball. You'll see Lewis give him a bit of a lift as he gets up. And Astill gets up, and Lewis sort of says something to him, so Astill gives him a little nudge in the back with his right foot. And it can be classified as a nudge. McCarthy there now, both teams with 12 men, 7 points to 6. What a game.
Get up from here, that's Russell Klein. South with a 1 point advantage at the moment. Terry Carrocken to play it, dummy half Russell Klein. Back over to Mark Murray. That's Hickey. Hickey about 8 metres out from the South line. Carrocken, Mark Murray. Turns it back inside to Lewis flying through.
Oh, yes.
Lewis upended. He'll play it to Carrocken.
She's even Steven now.
Over there to Hickey. Robert Moore. Moore going to be wrapped up. He'll play it now. From the play the ball to Lewis.
Oh,
there's the bomb. It's a beauty too. Valley's pouring through. Spencer under all, colliding with posts, doing everything.
Oh, well done, Kenny Spencer.
Under a lot of pressure. Penalty.
Valley's, here's the replay. Valley's adjudged to be in front of the kicker. Watch Spencer. Watch him all the way. Beside the post. Hasn't taken his eye off the ball. Around the post. Up he goes now. And look at the defence. And beautifully done, Kenny Spencer. And bang, into the post goes the Valley players. That's concentration at its very best.
Yes, he did well. Extra good. So it's Southern Suburbs still holding that slender 1 point lead. From the play the ball now. Sully. Sully across to Bruce Harry. Harry got away from Murray. Got away from the next one, that of Niebling. Doesn't get away this time, though, from Robert Moore. Touch judge on again.
Long time since I've seen two teams play a semi-final with 12 men each. Brian Niebling being called out. And a player from each team being sent off. Bruce Astill for Souths, and an elbow indicated by the touch judge, Eric Hunt.
Very serious about it too, George, isn't he?
My word. Eddie Ward issuing quite definite instructions. Next time you're off, obviously, he said. Penalty going to Souths. I think we're right in assuming that Astill was sent off. He didn't get sin bin, did he?
No,
I couldn't see any indication.
No, there's no indication there, George. I think we're safe in saying he's off for good. So now we'll see play coming up.
Sometimes it's hard to get a hot chariot lane pay. At least you get one of those.
Tap is going to be taken up there by Billy Johnston. So it's 12 men apiece now. Coming through is Higgs. From the play the ball now. Billy Johnston. Gary Grenke. He's busted them. Gets it away to Spencer. Spencer still going.
Spencer playing intelligent football here this afternoon. He's injecting himself whenever he can.
Dummy half is Billy Johnston again. Now Meninga. Meninga trying to bustle his way through.
Well, Meninga must really come to the fore now if South are to win this game.
Billy Johnston. Sully. South down inside that Valley quarter line and hoping to put the pressure on from here, but they won't that way.
Ash Lumbey. Bad pass, Lumbey, and paid the penalty for it.
Hickey came away with it for Valleys. This is Russell Klein, decides to have a go himself. Grabbed, however, by Belcher coming around. Darryl Duncan, dummy half. Back over to Mark Murray, to Lewis. Lewis sends it back then to Shalosky coming through. Tackler this time will be Billy Johnston.
McGuinness won't be real happy. He got back about 20 yards to run onto that ball, and Wally dummy to him.
Lewis again finds Moore. Running across field, now straightens up. Meninga kept going. 7-6. Souths are leading Valleys. Big long pass coming over here to Fisher.
Look
Danger.
at that.
Shalosky coming up to the halfway. Sully, a nice cover tackle. Now McGuinness bustling all of it.
Sully once again.
Well,
great game.
Some people suggesting there might have been a bit of a fitness doubt about Sully. He's put those thoughts well and truly beyond him. Lewis. Penalty.
Yes, penalty. Look at Lewis. Lewis thinking all the time. Lewis with that long pass. Cut it out. You'll see the bump here. He puts the kick in. It's a shoulder charge. I think it was from Tessman, but I'll just wait to see. Yeah. Yes, Brad Tessman. But just previous to that, the long pass that made the break, we may even be able to pick that up while the kick's being taken. That's what made the gap. Lewis thinking all the time as a very keen football brain. Threw the ball about 35 metres, I'd say, to make the break. Away went Shalosky, and then he got the ball back, put the little kick in, and just couldn't get through to follow it up. Here it is, Wally Lewis here. Watch this pass. Away it goes. If that's not about 30 metres, well, I'm not here. Look at that. Straight to the man. And then, of course, there's a big gap there. That's Fisher. Fisher gave it to Shalosky. You'll see Fisher's pass now. There's only one man there. Straight through the gap goes Shalosky. That's the kind of things Wally Lewis can do. He can do most things in a football field. Not only can he do them, he can do them very well.
Let's see whether Scott Shalosky can kick this goal very well. He has the breeze against him. Moving in for the shot at goal. It's on its way. Hits the upright.
Oh!
Chalice is over there to get it, though. Oh, boy.
Oh, hit the upright.
A match that's had everything. Sensational stuff. This is Brad Tessman.
Barry Muir's in the box here with us. He still reckons that Valley's a sit.
Mal Meninga.
I'm inclined to agree with him.
Dummy half coming up is Billy Johnston. Over to Sully. Brad Sully through. Now looking for the support. This is Bruce Harry. And Harry eventually claimed by Darryl Duncan.
As with other games, I've said players, the representative players, have to really perform this afternoon. Fellows like Sully, who's finding gaps. Good kick.
Great kick.
Fellows like Sully, who has just found the gap in the southern suburbs lineup. They've, without Astill now, Meninga really must inject himself into the game. Harry, Thompson, these fellows must play above themselves. And in the Valley's team, particularly Murray and Lewis, they've been doing it all game, and Niebling, who scored their only try.
25 minutes remaining in the match. Penalty Souths.
Penalties are going South's way, 11-6. Scrums are favouring, 11-8 the penalties going South's way. And the scrums are favouring Valley 7-4.
Now Mal Meninga to fine touch.
Remind viewers that both teams are playing with 12 men. Walker off in the first minute for Valleys, and Astill leaving the field 8 minutes into the second half.
Okay, coming through this time is Adrian Hicks. Can Souths get back? They're leading by 7-6. Grenke inside to Johnston. Johnston and Meninga knocked it on. And was pouring through on that occasion.
A look of complete disgust on Mal Meninga's face, but at least southern suburbs are trying the moves, and they're trying to bring Meninga into them, and that's what they've got to do.
This will be a Valley ball, will it? Yes, it will. Mark Murray comes away with it. So now to Wally Lewis.
He'll run.
Cutting back inside. Brad Sully's there. From the play the ball, this is Hickey. Dummy half waiting for it is Carockin. 7-6, South's lead. Robert Moore.
By golly, he's played well this afternoon for Valley's Robert Moore.
Couldn't agree more, George.
He's done a lot of work and done it well.
Carockin, was that a knock-on? No, says referee Eddie Ward. Some of the crowd think it was. And the Valley hooker brings it up to just about on the halfway mark.
6 to go indicated.
From the play the ball. Arnold, Murray, Lewis to Duncan.
Danger man.
To about 3 or 4 metres short of the halfway mark. Dummy half Fisher. Over to Mark Murray. Lewis. Russell, or rather Niebling. Shilosky sending it back over inside. Mark Murray, Fisher.
Good
this
pass.
is Arnold. Still going Bobby Arnold.
Oh, good defence from Gary Thompson. Had 3 men to mark and took the man with the ball beautifully. Ball and all. Good work, Thompson.
Mark Murray. Now to Lewis. To Murray doubling around again. To Lewis.
They must keep playing well, and they are.
McGuinness. Carockin.
They're still
Darryl Duncan. Duncan trying to get away from Lumbey, but can't succeed. Final tackle. Carockin. From dummy half. Over to Lewis. Lewis to Murray. Murray gets it away nicely this time to Moore. Moore around the corner. Going to be taken by Niebling. Niebling put down on the quarter line. Nice play, Valleys.
A lot of these players out here will be at the Dally M presentation night, and one of them could pick up prizes, or a few of them could pick up prizes. Let's have a look at the prizes now.
The player judged the channel.
Brad Sully feeds. Souths are leading by 7-6. This will be a Valley ball.
That's the inexperience of Brad Tessman. South won that ball. Tessman didn't have his head in the scrum and kicked at the Valleys.
So now Bobby Arnold trying to break his way through. Put down 18 metres out from the Souths line.
Critical time of the game, halfway through the second half.
Valley's turn to attack now as Mark Murray sends it away to Lewis. Lewis to Fisher. Shilosky. Shilosky going to be taken by Gary Thompson and also Mal Meninga. Fisher to Lewis. Russell Klein flying through, but a nice tackle to put him down. That's Higgs. Away from play the ball. Carockin to Lewis. Back inside, coming through as Darryl Duncan. Strong man near the line. And just pulled down a couple of metres out.
Last tackle.
Carockin to dummy half. Straight through his legs. Wally Lewis. Lewis working right across field. Still going Lewis.
Whoa,
over the top and there's the try. Try coming up. No, Moore put down a couple of metres out.
Oh, great defence, South. Great defence, South. Brad Tessman across there. Last tackle. And what about the magic of Lewis? He just went across and dummied everybody. Sent a beautiful pass. And, by golly, I thought they were in.
It certainly looked that way, but not to be. So South hang on to that lead of 7-6. And desperately wanting possession from this scrum.
Sully to feed.
It'll be a Valley ball.
Murray.
Mark Murray almost through. Got the pole, they've lost it. South ball. Bruce Harry coming away with it. Trying to do a little bit too much on that occasion, Valleys. Souths have got that important possession, just as Valleys were putting it onto them. Billy Johnston up as dummy half. 7-6 from the play the ball. Back over to Higgs coming up. He'll play it now. Billy Johnston from dummy half. Swings it back to Meninga. Shaped a kick and then decide to run. Up to the quarterway. Got the pass back behind him, and it's Valleys coming away with it. Corocan.
Not a thing to do in a semi-final, Mal Meninga. Indecision and paid the price.
Mark Murray. Back inside. Robert Moore. Just on the South quarter line. Corocan to dummy half. Goes himself. Bruce Harry's there to pull him down. South lead 7-6. 1 point the difference. Match that has been sensational in many ways and has really turned on some good football too. This is Fisher.
Straight line defence from Souths is good, and referee Ward's keeping the 5 metres, both teams.
Coming up as dummy half is Daryl Duncan. Final tackle's on its way. Watch for Wally Lewis.
Good try the blind side, no.
To Lewis. There's the bomb. Another good one. Bounces. Up they go. Still going.
South ball.
South will come away with the dash Lumbee.
They must be a coach's nightmare, them bombs.
Pardon?
They must be a coach's nightmare.
So now, Gary Grenke. South with a narrow lead, 7 points to 6. Still plenty of time for Valleys, though. 18 minutes remaining.
Well, this game won't be finished until the final hooter, I can tell you that.
Billy Johnston.
Regardless of who scores next, if anybody scores next, it's still not won.
Well, I think Ross Strudwick said during the week that it was going to be close. And I don't think he anticipated being quite as close as it is at the moment.
I think both teams really have played, it seems an unusual thing to say, but Southern Suburbs seem to have played better with 12 men. They seem to have more cohesion in attack. I think, as I said, there may have been a complacency there with 13.
Brad Sully. Pull down, 8 metres short of halfway. Kenny Spencer's up as dummy half. Through to the halfway mark almost. Billy Johnston coming away with it. On the play the ball this time to Grenke. Still going through Gary Grenke.
Testman, Billy.
Oh, Testman, sorry. Back over to Sully. Then Meninga.
Now run.
Now gets it away this time to Chalice, to Belcher, now to Thompson.
Oh,
back
that was
inside
forward.
to Lumbee. It looked that way to me.
That was forward, but they got away with that one.
Final tackle coming up. Grenke this time over there to Brad Sully. He's had a good game. End of the tackle count.
Scrum's favouring Valleys 10-5. And the penalties favouring South 11-8. And it looks like Billy Argyros could be coming on, number 14 on his back.
A little bit of a go here.
From the scrum. Who was that? Brian Niebling and Billy Johnston, I think.
Yes, it is. Bit of pushing and shoving going on over there. Still haven't separated them. Billy Argyros coming on. Interesting to see who he does replace. Johnston being called out and Niebling.
Brad Testman going off. Billy Argyros coming on with 15 minutes of play remaining.
Not a bad idea, George.
Well, now it is a penalty kick. It was a penalty from the scrum originally, and now it's a penalty kick. No, he hasn't changed his ruling? No, he's still made it a penalty from the scrum. I beg your pardon.
Kick is going to find touch now. South put on the pressure from here. That's Argyros. Argyros put down about 5 metres out. Johnston, Sully away to Grinke. Now coming through is Gary Thompson. Brian Niebling's over there to take care of him. Meninga from dummy half.
Yes.
Meninga trying to crash his way through.
Oh, no.
Reaching out for the line, lost it.
No try. No try.
Mark Murray ended up with it.
That's the kind of thing that Meninga had to try and do. Let's have a look at it. Trying to use his power, and he's trying to bust through. He puts the ball out, and it's just inside the line, as you can see. Didn't lose it, just inside the line. From front on it, you'll probably see it even better. Here it is. Meninga's about 10 metres out. What's the power of the big fella? Gets to Shilowski. Bang! In comes Murray. Puts his arm out. It's just short. If it had been on the line or over, it would have been a try because he didn't lose it.
Okay, Wally Lewis, the big long one. Fisher. Shilowski. Quickly regathered, got up, started to go again. Ash Lumby's a man to put him over. South's leading 7-6. Darryl Duncan. Valleys now with Wally Lewis putting in the boot. Spencer taking plenty of time. Now deciding to have a run. It's going to be taken by Mark Murray and Niebling in over the top. Mal Meninga, dummy half. Fisher. Tackled by Wally Lewis.
Belcher. Fisher's the other number 4, Billy.
Don't worry about me, George. That's Thompson working his way across field. Dummy half waiting for it is Billy Johnston. Sully to Argyros.
Oh, what a tiger.
Argyros just inside the Valley's half. Billy Johnston snuck away from Brian Niebling on that occasion.
Geez, a competitor, Johnston.
Final tackle coming up. This is Bruce Harry. Inside to Lumby.
Beautiful pass.
Lumby going to be tackled, put down. Final tackle, Bobby Arnold. We'll have a scrum coming up. 25 metres out from the Valley line.
12 minutes of play remaining, and the whole game's been critical, obviously, but we are now getting into very critical stage of the game. 7-6, South leading Valley, 7-6. A penalty goal in it. 1 try each. And a penalty goal in it. A penalty goal in it.
Mark Murray.
Field goal.
On the play the ball to Wally Lewis. Decides to run himself.
Another replacement for Valleys. It looks like Bobby Knight's going to come on.
From the play the ball. Moore back over to Korokin. Niebling. Niebling still going. Eventually Billy Johnston puts him down. Korokin coming up as dummy half. Murray. Lewis. Duncan. Cutting back inside. And eventually Lumby to put him down. Pick it up to play it now with dummy half Robert Moore. Lewis.
Look at that.
Big long one over there.
Mick Hickey way out on the wing.
Hickey eventually pulled down about 5 metres inside South territory with the final tackle coming up. McGuinness charging his way through. Now gets it to Lewis.
Good football.
Mark Murray lost it. And eventually dives to regather.
No. I wonder why I said no. You got a one-eyed Southern Suburbs fan up here, and he said it should have been a penalty. No way. Mark Murray knocked it forward, then went back and got it. So if the same man gets it, Andy, he's not offside.
Nice try, though.
Settle down.
There's Al McGuinness leaving. South ball. Sully to Harry. And eventually going to be put down 4 or 5 metres short of the halfway mark. Going through there is Belcher. Argyros losing it. Picked up by Brian Niebling. Just inside the halfway mark. Knight, dummy half. Mark Murray. Trying to find a way through, but no chance. Brad Sully's over there. 7-6. Souths are leading. Just under 10 minutes to go now. Knight. And the crowd starting to chant out here in the outer. Bob Arnold. I don't think there'll be anyone leaving early today. Lewis again. Back inside, coming through as Fisher. Murray.
Oh, touch
Straight
by
back into the hands
Meninga.
of
Yes,
Fisher.
6 tackles to go.
Fisher still going. Can he get away?
Oh, yes.
He can. And it's going to be lost over there by Hickey in the touch.
Gee, that was good work by Kenny Spencer. There's not many times that a fullback can cover 3 players, and Spencer did it on that occasion. But what great passing as well. There's Spencer. And full credit to Kenny Spencer on that occasion. A try Loomy, and he covered 3 players and got the 3 of them.
Be fed by Brad Sully. Penalty South. Tap is going to be taken this time by Billy Johnston. Higgs going to be wrapped up about 30 metres out now from the south line. Argyros taken this time by Bob Arnold. Billy Johnston over there to Ash Lumbey this time. Tackler coming in underneath is Brian Niebling. 8 minutes remaining. Johnston is going to be out of the full.
Out of the full.
Wouldn't have been much in it.
It was worth the try, says Adrian Higgs to Billy Johnston.
Bit of a scuffle going on there on that front row again. In by Sully. Penalty Souths again. Put across to Mark Carockin.
There's a bit of a raffle in there, but because you've got Hickey and Bobby Knight now playing on the props for Terry Carockin. Of course, they're both experienced props, but it really upsets the balance of a scrum. There's no 2 ways about that. Carockin very disappointed, but that's the way it is, and it looks like another Southern Suburbs replacement.
Here's the kick for touch. Play coming up to a couple of metres short of the halfway mark. Tap is going to be taken by Billy Johnston. That's Lumbey. 7-6. South leading. Ball's into touch over there. Now, let's have a look at this scrum.
Well, what can you say about this game, eh? About everything.
In by Mark Murray. Dived on by Sully. Was anyone's ball there for a while. However, Souths have possession. That's Wayne Chalice. Collected his award earlier today for the ANZ Bank Colt of the Year. Dummy half coming over is Chalice again. Sully. Flying through as Spencer.
Spencer's had a good game.
He's had a top-class game today for South. Pulled a big one out when they needed it. Johnston to Lumbey. Lumbey going to be held up 25 metres out now from the Valley line. From the play the ball. Argyros. Player down to the background is Carockin for Valleys. Final tackle. Brad Sully. There's the bomb.
Oh, a good one too.
Shalowski's under pressure now, but he takes it nicely. A very daunting thought to see Mel Meninga pouring through at you.
Yes. Gee, there's been some great performances here this afternoon. You could pick a George Simon Sue winner from either team. There's no 2 ways about that. And you could pick a half a dozen of them from either team, really.
Drop out is going to be taken back there by Spencer. Here's the fullback stepping his way through up to almost on the quarterway. Just under 5 minutes remaining in the match. Away from dummy half is Argyros. Muscling his way through. Carochan down again in the background. Not quite sure where he is. Carochan's going to leave, I'd say. There's another replacement, Cullen, getting ready for South. Meantime, this is Meninga. Still going, Meninga. Spencer about 5 metres out from the Valley line. 7-6, South's lead.
11 men in the line. Carochan still being attended to.
Coming through is Bruce Harry. He's lost it or tried to get it away. One of the two, but Valley's come away with it, whichever you like.
Gee, I'd be replacing Terry Carochan in a big hurry.
He's not sure where he is at the moment. Now Valley's lose it. Thompson comes away with it. Back inside to Chalice. Chalice up again. Sends it back to Thompson. And he's in.
Hey, try! Oh, Bob McCarthy's a little bit happy now. He can't believe whether it's a try or not. He's still looking to make sure it's a try. Here it is from a drop ball. What a game. What a game. There's Mick Hickey. Hickey gets to Chalice. Loses the ball. That's Thompson with it now. Now away he goes. Tries to shed Chalosky. Gets it into Chalice. Chalice goes over the quarterway. Steps the other way. Dived at. Gets away. Gets up. Moore's there. Inside to Thompson. The two wingers combining. And Thompson dives desperately for the corner. Puts it down. A fair try. Oh, 10 points to 6. Here it is again. There's the pickup.
He's worked well to get up there, George, after being tackled.
He has. Now Chalice comes inside. Has Fisher to beat. Steps away from Fisher. But he puts him down. He gets up again. Robert Moore comes across, but there's one man left. And Bobby Knight just couldn't get there in time. A difficult kick for Mal Meninga, but boy, you've got to feel sorry a bit for the diehards, because at that stage, Carochan didn't know whether he was in Disneyland, Dreamworld or Lang Park.
Now it's Meninga attempting to convert the try. On its way, waved away. So the score remains.
Play remaining, Greg Walker being sent off for Valleys. 30 seconds into the first half for an alleged head-high tackle on Alan Power. Power was carried from the field in a stretcher. He regained consciousness, nothing serious. So Valleys played the full game with 12 men. 8 minutes into the second half, Bruce Astill, the Southern Suburbs captain, that's Lyndon Cullen with the ball, that was sent from the field for a misdemeanor with the boot. And of course then Southern Suburbs reduced to 12 men, and they played the last 28 minutes of the game with 12 men. And on both sides, some courageous displays. There's no two ways about that. The whole Valley team, a courageous display. And what a game from Wally Lewis. This guy is a genius on a football field. He did everything right. Everything right. Played the game the right way. Big kick from Meninga. Doesn't quite make the touchline. And after him, Lewis came Brian Niebling. Niebling, a great game this afternoon. And also Mark Murray. The other forwards, Bob Arnold, Carochan, Al McGuinness until he was replaced. Every player in that team. Darryl Duncan did his job. Chalosky did his job. But the man who stood head and shoulders above everybody else was Lewis in the Valley team. And, of course, Brian Niebling, who scored their only try. For South, well, in the first half, there wasn't that many good players. They had 13 to 12. But in the second half, the whole South team come alive. And they played some great football as well. Bruce Harry made some breaks. In the forwards, Ash Lumby never plays a bad game, but one of his best today. Billy Johnston, tireless worker. Griggy did all that was asked of him. So did Higgs. Sully, a good game. Belcher and Meninga a little bit quieter. I thought Meninga should have played a little bit stronger in the game, but of course you only play as well as you're allowed to. And Thompson and Chalice did well. Spencer at fullback, the best game I've seen Spencer play all year, under tremendous pressure on a lot of occasions, and did it well. Away goes Meninga.
Here he is, the big fella's on the bustle up the centre. He's lost his balance, so and going to be claimed just inside the quarter line.
And Kenny Spencer, as I said, there he is with the ball. Great game. It's very hard to pick a George Soman suit winner for the best player. I'll give it to you in a minute, because there's the countdown. And it looks like Souths go to the grand final, Billy.
They certainly do. There's Higgs.
Souths go to the grand final.
Tackle.
What a boil over.
It's all
Bob McCarthy very happy. 10 points to 6. My George Simon suit winner, the player who we didn't think might make it, Brad Sully. Sully put in a great game for Southern Suburbs. He made the half breaks. He did the tackling. He ran when he had to. He did everything right, Brad Sally. Come back from injury, and Brad Sally is my George Simon suit winner for the day. And as I said, a tremendously hard decision. Very good player from a lot of players in the field. As I said, Spencer a great game, Lewis, Niebling. You can go through them all. But Brad Sally, coming back from injury, did everything right and put him on the attack at the right time.
Okay, so the full-time score here at Lang Park. Southern Suburbs go straight into the grand final. For Valleys, they'll be back here next week against Wynnum-Manly. South winning the game by 10.